Hi everyone, welcome back. So, the drama we've been waiting for nearly a decade has finally premiered. Rebirth officially premiered on April 8th, 2026 on iQiyi and WeTV. For those of you who watched Princess Agents and are still traumatized by that frozen lake scene, don't worry, you're not alone. And today, we can finally talk about the sequel. I've watched the first 2 episodes and I want to share my honest thoughts, the good, the not so good, and whether this drama is worth your time. Let's get started. What is Rebirth? Before diving into the review, for those unfamiliar with Princess Agents, here's a little context. Princess Agents is a 2017 Chinese drama starring Zhao Liying and Lin Gengxin. The story follows Tu Chao, a female slave who eventually rises to become one of the most influential figures in the worlds of politics and warfare. The drama ended with a cliffhanger that's still frequently discussed to this day. Yunrui sank into a frozen lake, and his fate has never been clarified. Nearly 10 years later, Rebirth arrives to continue that story. The cast is entirely new. Yunrui as Zhuge Yue or Yunrui, Huang Tian as Tu Chao, and Zhang Kangle as Yanshun. And there's one unique twist. Huang Tian previously played the young version of Tu Chao in Season 1. So this is a pretty interesting full-circle moment. Story. The first 2 episodes immediately throw us into the thick of the conflict. We're treated to a brief flashback of what happened in Season 1, then the story moves forward with Tu Chao waking up 3 months after the frozen lake incident, but lost her memory. For longtime viewers, the opening is quite emotionally satisfying. Seeing that frozen lake scene again, hearing Zhuge Yue's inner monologue in his final moments, it's very touching. But for new viewers, honestly, these first 2 episodes are a bit dense and might feel confusing. Lots of names, lots of factions, lots of time jumps. For those of you who are still confused or want to revisit the previous story, feel free to watch the full recap of Princess Agents Season 1. The video link can be found in the description. Cast. Well, this is the part everyone's been talking about the most. Yunrui as Zhuge Yue. I have to say, he's quite convincing. He has that weary yet dangerous aura that's just right for this character. Her fight scenes also look solid. He hasn't had much screen time in these 2 episodes, but from what little there is, his acting foundation is already evident. Huang Tian as Tu Chao. This is what's been talked about the most. Her acting is decent, and if you pay attention, her eye expressions already show the sharpness and stubbornness characteristic of Tu Chao. But yeah, her very youthful appearance does slightly disrupt immersion. She was only 16 during filming, and it shows. However, we need to give her room to grow, and from what I've seen, the potential is there. Zhang Kangle as Yanshun. This is the one I think still needs the most improvement. Yanshun is a very complex character. There's calculation, burning vengeance, and fragile control behind his calm exterior. In these first 2 episodes, I haven't fully felt that from him yet. Hopefully, as the story unfolds, his character will become more nuanced. Visuals and production. Visually, there are some highlights and some shortcomings. The good, the real-life filming locations in Qinghai's snowy landscapes are truly beautiful. Some shots feel cinematic and grand. And if you look closely, you can also see the stunning view of Rainbow Mountain, which is actually quite close to Qinghai Lake. This makes sense, since the director is Lu Haojiji, who also directed The Double, so his visual style has already been proven. The downsides. The CGI and makeup effects in some scenes still look a bit rough around the edges. There are moments where the blood effects look unnatural, and that slightly ruins the impression. For a drama with this much ambition, the visual consistency needs to be better maintained. Overall, the visual tone is darker and more serious than Season 1, and in my opinion, that's the right choice, given that the story has indeed become heavier. Comparison with Season 1. This is the most sensitive point for longtime viewers. Honestly, in these first 2 episodes, Rebirth hasn't quite reached the same emotional depth as Princess Agents. Season 1 had great strength in the chemistry between Zhao Liying and the cast, as well as a slow but highly effective story build-up. But I don't think it's fair to compare them directly. Princess Agents had 67 episodes to build the audience's emotional investment. Rebirth is only 2 episodes in. An important point to note, Rebirth isn't a remake. It's a continuation of the story, but with a slightly different approach, closer to the original novel, with a darker tone and a greater focus on political conflict and war rather than romance. And don't be surprised, there are some differences from Season 1 because Rebirth follows the novel's version more closely. First, regarding names, Yuan Yue is now Juga Yue in this version. The same goes for the other members of the Yuan family. All have been changed to Juga. The names of the kingdoms have also changed. Wei becomes Yang, and Liang becomes Biantong. Chong Yuan, Yanshun's subordinate, is depicted as still alive, just as in the original novel. The same goes for Yueqi, even though he ultimately dies after sacrificing himself by acting as a human shield for Yuan Yue, who is being pelted by dozens of arrows. Conversely, He Xiao of the Shu Li army is reported to have been killed by Zhang Yu. Verdict. So, is Rebirth worth watching? For longtime Princess Agents fans, yes, watch it. This is what you've been waiting for. There are satisfying nostalgic moments, and the story continues in a way that's quite respectful of Season 1's legacy. But brace yourself for the fact that this isn't Zhou Liying and Lin Kangxin, and that's not a bad thing, because what we're really looking forward to is the continuation of the cliffhanger. For new viewers, it's worth watching, but I highly recommend reading a recap video or watching a bit of Season 1 first so you can really feel the emotional impact. My rating for the first 2 episodes? 8 out of 10. A solid foundation, promising visuals, and a story with huge potential. But the execution still needs time to heat up.
After this initial review, I'll be posting a recap for each episode. So, for those of you who have trouble keeping up, you can check out the recaps. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you can stay updated. See you in the next video.